there's branding as products, there's branding as person. You can be selling cars, and I'm selling cars. We are selling Toyota, but me, I'm selling Kimoto. That one, I've used that one to pass you.
We are seeing Apple as a brand. We are seeing Steve Jobs as a person also. Now, Steve Jobs on his own can stand. Apple on his own can stand also. As a matter of fact, we are saying they are missing Steve Jobs. So you see, he has built a name, separated his name from Apple. You have to first of all make a decision. This is my company now that I'm building. What do I want? Do I want my face to be the face of the company? If the answer to that question is yes, then make sure that whatever you are doing is pointing at you. Then you can also decide to do it another way, whereby you can have your business standing out, and then it's not standing with you as the face. Like without you, the business can be recognized.
It's somewhat risky. Part of, let's assume that you have a product you are manufacturing, right? And you are giving me a part of your production to handle. I mean, I feel like it's a kind of you opening an avenue for me. Maybe an iPhone now, for instance. You bring a phone that will be similar to an iPhone. Maybe that can even have some of the softwares and stuff that iPhone have, but not an iPhone. There's an aspect of it that is way deeper than just collaboration. You understand? Maybe there may be some restriction and stuff, but that is not enough
to shock you that you are selling a shirt for, let's say, 20,000 naira and people are not buying it. You can increase the price of the shirt to 30,000 naira and add another thing again, and then you may have more people buying it.
So it's just like now, let's say I'm distributing, let's say Milo, sachet Milo now. It's already branded, right?
Yeah.
So now as a distributor, how do I, since we are saying branding, so there's branding as products, there's branding as person. So there is the product of the branding, there is the business of the branding. For instance, you can be selling cars, and I'm selling cars. We are selling Toyota, but me, I'm selling Kimoto. That one, I've used that one to pass you. So if you say you are going to buy a car now, and somebody asks you, mention 3 car dealers in Abuja. If you are mentioning first 20, if you go inside town, you see that even those guys that are popular, they don't even have some kind of cars that you still see in some places in Abuja, and you don't know those people's name. But they made a brand with their name. They are selling the same cars, but the person has branded himself Abuja best car. He has branded himself. It's still car. So branding can be at the level of products, then it can be at the level of the business itself. So we can be selling the same product, and I've branded myself and my business to be known and to be famous for something than you selling the same product. So even if it's clothes, I can sell, because the goal of branding is perception. Yeah. That's the overall goal. How are you perceived? Because you can't be marketing Toyota and I'm marketing Toyota, and you think your advantage will be saying that Toyota is better. What is happening to my own Toyota? It's not the same Toyota. Did you produce it? So it's how the business. So for certain people now, the branding they are pushing out is repayment plan. That's what they are after. So if you think of buying a car now and you don't want to buy once, you know where to go to. So they've positioned themselves. So when you are thinking of, I have 5 million, I want to buy a car of 10 million, they have positioned themselves for that market. Certain people have positioned themselves for luxury car. If you don't have the money, you can't even think of those kind of products. So I think branding is more of perception. So the product may be the same, but how you are perceived. Some people have built branding around trust. Like they've used a lot of influencers to market their products. They are the face. So even when you don't know them as a person, look at Palm Tech now. Yeah. How many is recently the man now started showing his face because of to avoid issues, and I feel like he's not even a social media man, he's just trying so that he doesn't, you understand. But then the products, there's a branding behind the product, there are faces behind the product that we can now know that, okay, when it comes to mechanics, this is it. So he's not the one producing the product. But even if you are now selling engine oil now, he has passed you with that same product. Do you understand? There's a company in South Africa that is selling car that I think he was not pleased with a product that Benz delivered to him, and he said something online, and Benz had to come and apologize to him because they know that when it comes to Benz in South Africa, this guy is the boss. We can't lose him. So even the product itself, they know that no, this guy has built a brand around this thing. So that's branding, perception.
Every big bank has a clientele.
In a simpler term.
Yeah.
Abis. Okay. So in a simpler term, let's just call it packaging.
Yes.
Like
that's another way to
the way you package your business as a business owner. It doesn't matter what you are, selling or the business you are running. So the way you package your business, both for yourself, your employees, and your customers too. Abi?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Mr. Justice's office now, the AC they enter body well. Like you go to some other person's office that does the same thing he does, but the place is just there. Alright, so
That one is also okay. Thank you, sir. So I want to contribute some things. Please, Stefan, take this in. How many percentages? I wanted to also contribute to this issue of branding. So, branding it can actually split into different parts. Before I contribute on that, I wanted to contribute on many things. He mentioned something about prices. You see, there's this person, Russell Brunson. I don't know if you know of him. He's the owner of ClickFunnels. So he, in his book Expert Secret, he said something, right? He said if you are selling, it's either you are the most expensive or you are the least expensive. He said you don't have any business being in the middle, right? If you are in the middle, at times your price. So he said that you try to see how you make your own to be the cheaper, so that people will buy from you. And also the cheaper is not the best option, because it means you are on the race to the bottom. You understand? You keep on going down. Of course, some businesses have variations, right? An instance now, let's say if we are printing now, we cannot set our printing to be 500 naira while our neighbor is doing his own business at 200 naira. That one, in terms of this particular instance, it may be hard for us to now get customers. So it depends on what you are selling, though. But then at times, what you can do is that most of the times people buy from perception, right? So if you want to make what you are selling to look more, so let's say, in a nicer way, what you can do is that instead of reducing the price, you can increase your offer, then increase your price. So it will shock you that you are selling a shirt for, let's say, 20,000 naira and people are not buying it. Instead of reducing the price of the shirt, you can increase the price of the shirt to 30,000 naira and another thing again, and then you may have more people buying it. So at times offer can actually affect. That's just to contribute on that other part. Then about the issue of branding also. So yeah, branding is important, and as a matter of fact, with branding, your business can boom. And there are different types of branding, right? I know that you can look at branding as little as logo. Logo is also a part of brand. Color can also stand for a brand, right? So in some places, there's a particular color that represents their brand. Like for we don't have particular color for us. We make the color to suit into what we are trying to do. So some places do, right? And instance, help me with his cap, please. He's going somewhere. So, an instance, some persons, like an instance, Femi Lazarus. When you go to his church, the brand literally for all Light Nation is that you see that church is black. They paint the church black. The walls are black, so it gives a particular feel. So wherever they are having any branch at all, they maintain that particular feel. So that can also be a particular type of brand. So branding can go into different places. Then the name also can also be a brand. Now, I think this is one that I want to also talk about. So in the aspect of the name, there is the brand name of your name, and then there's the brand name of the company's name. So some companies actually join the names together. That's their name and the company name, and they create separate brands for them. Some companies, again, some people again decide to use their own face as the face of the company and their own name as the name of the company, and they have their pros and their cons too. Like an instance now, in terms of using somebody's, like in terms of using your, an instance now, someone like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is the founder of what? Apple, right? So we are seeing Apple as a brand. We are seeing Steve Jobs as a person also. Now, Steve Jobs on his own can stand. Apple on its own can stand also. As a matter of fact, we are saying they are missing Steve Jobs. So you see, he has built a name, separated his name from Apple. Now, some other businesses actually the fact they make the companies as in fact so, for some businesses you don't think of Apple and then you think of Steve Jobs as the founder. You think of Steve Jobs first. Then as you're thinking of Steve Jobs, what comes to your head is now Apple. That is, he has made the brand to become himself. So there are different models and they have their pros and their cons. So for some people though that want to make some particular level of impact, like now this issue of this Palm Tech now, I wanted to even use that as an example. So Palm Tech literally for a while, he has not been the person, he has not been the face. He has put some other people as the face. Now that is very very good. It's a nice strategy that he used, using people that know how to market a particular product forward. I think I started following Palmtech like 2 years ago, and it was from the way they were creating their content. They sell motor parts, they do repairs and all that, but from the way they were creating their content, I picked interest in that. So but then I think over time they had some fallout with some of the staff. One of the person that was like the major face of his company, in fact she's the person that I knew. If somebody sees her, the first thing that will come to your head is Palmtech. Her name is Juliet Ibekwe, right? So Palmtech released a public message, disclaimer, telling everybody to cease operations with her. Like they literally brought it out to say that she's no longer working with them. If you do any transaction with them, it's now at your risk. So, and I don't know the full story, but I think part of the story was actually the fact that, you know, people trusted her that much, to the point that I think they were doing some particular businesses by the side, not involving the Palmtech themselves. And since people trust you and they're already seeing you as Palmtech, they can easily pay you money without questioning for it to deliver something. Now, if anything happens, the finger may go back to Palmtech. I don't know if you understand. If anything happens, the finger may not end up going back to Palmtech. So at that particular point, I think some people were now bringing a particular backlash. They were now saying that he shouldn't have made others to be the face, he would have been the face. Of course, he has his own reasons, but these are just some of the consequences though that could actually come in place. So but then branding is on its own. I think it's a broad word that you need to split, and for you to succeed in your own business, you cannot carry all of the brands at the same time. You have to first of all make a decision. This is my company now that I'm building. What do I want? Do I want my face to be the face of the company? If the answer to that question is yes, then make sure that whatever you are doing is pointing at you. Anything you are doing points at you, fingers are pointing back at you. Some of these people do it. Like an instance now, we have Russell Brunson that I mentioned. If you check his YouTube, he has millions of followers and he does businesses. But his businesses, he does them and then he links them to his name, linking them to his name. Then you can also decide to do it another way, whereby you can have your business standing out and then it's not standing with you as the face. Like without you, the business can be recognized. That's one of the models that I think Stephen Bartlett follows, right? And instance, when you check his show, you find that his show is Diary of a CEO. I don't think he has any particular show that he pushes that is his own name. He has different shows literally that he does, and they all have different names, but he has a way of pushing them out to go. And then at times you can also mix both of them. So you just need to know an instance now in terms of the car brands. In some car brands you may be able to know the company itself, and you may not even know the face, but then you know that you love this particular product. An instance, do you know the owner of Oraimo? No, but you love using Oraimo products. Another one again is that when we say Seriki Motor, now you know who that person is because he has made himself to become the brand. So it depends on where you are going to and the model. Both of them have their own pros and their cons. So you just need to know how to adjust it. I just hope I have not confused, but convinced people small on one or two things on branding. Yeah, so I wanted to just add that. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Any other contribution?
No, you know they work for now.
Sorry, I don't know. All right. Thank you, everyone.
I don't know if we would have enough time, maybe more, to quickly tap into how maybe a business owner can actually boost their business in terms of visibility and visibility and recognition too, like the necessary approach or some of the vital approach, especially for a new business. So I don't know if
And boss is here that can.
some of the things that
Yeah.
are very essential, yeah, because I feel business is not just all about, getting a shop or a space and maybe equipping it with your, depending on what you are doing. It's not. I don't think that's enough actually. So I feel there are extra things, some external force that has to be put in place in order to, make it something everybody can see.
I was wondering why the camera is facing. Okay, so I will answer for some businesses because I believe the approach may be general but specific for certain business. For fintech now, you see that if you are doing, let's say you are doing distribution, physical, and I'm doing fintech, if I give you my own approach, it may not really work perfectly for you. So I will talk for fintech, then I will talk maybe for distribution businesses. Right? I don't know, maybe anybody's into fintech. Okay. So I think the first thing, one of the business I look at, that I copy what they do, and I'm inspired by what they do, and I love to talk about them every time. Number one is Coca-Cola, and I'll tell you why Coca-Cola is interesting. Coca-Cola is interesting because there's only one country in the world where Coca-Cola is being produced. In case you don't know how crazy that is, Coca-Cola is in your village. But there's only one country in the world where Coca-Cola is being produced. And Coca-Cola has a patent. What that means is that they've regularized the production, that if they catch any country producing Coca-Cola, they will not just find the place they are producing it, even the country will suffer it. So when I look at their business model, I ask myself, how is it possible that Coca-Cola is produced in one country in the world, and Coca-Cola is getting to Nigeria, it's getting to my state, it's getting to my village? How?
We're hearing this for the first time.
Okay. Yes, because I know even hearing it, you are like, how to like.
And they collect bottles back.
And Coca-Cola is everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And now, I think it's in either not Switzerland, but the country starts with S something something something. Yes, just one country. Yes, and it's going around all the continents. So what did Coca-Cola do? All they needed to do was collaboration. That means I'm starting a business. The first thing that is coming to my mind is, how can I reach multiple people with my service and my products? I know I can't reach everybody at once by myself. What if I now hand over that job to other people to do?
Yeah.
So what they did is to now give rights to countries. They call them bottling agency.
Nigeria Bottling Company, an instance.
Yes. So it's like Nestle, Nestle company. So instead of coming to Nigeria now and building a infrastructure, building everything, now starts bottling. You see the delay. You are seeing delay in those processes back. So Coca-Cola can literally enter a country today, and in the next few weeks, they've circulated everywhere. So they just look for the big guys there, just like what we see Cubana is doing now. Look for the big guys there and just partner with them, and you're out of your country. The ball is in your hand. I mean, it's in your court, anyhow you want to say it. So that's one strategy, where you hand over a part of the business to people that would have been competitors. So they don't even see any competing with you. I know somebody in Zaria that is always happy to want to offload trucks of Coca-Cola. Why? Because they give him leverage. There's a right they've given you. You are feeling like you are the one in charge of the business. So that's one strategy. So you check your business model. Does your business model allow you to hand over a part of the business to people that would have been your competitors? So I'm coming back to Igbo people again. An Igbo man is seeing some people now, I'm selling spare part, and he's saying that I want to start spare part business. If it's a Yoruba man, he's starting to hate you. He's looking for your downfall.
Yeah.
An Igbo man is going to call you. He's going to give you for free. Can give you 2.
Exactly.
He knows you will be a strong competitor because he's seeing the agility, so he's going to give you 2 for free. You are happy. You call it help, but he knows what he's doing. He's seeing a potential competitor. He's bringing him as
Alive.
you see. So that's a strategy. So another people we see doing these strategies, you see fintechs like banks, the likes of MoneyPoint and OP. They've created the model. You want to reach out across to a lot of people with your product. What do? You recruit certain people, you call them agents. You hand over your card to them, ATM card. And that's why it's more easier. If we ask now, is there anybody that has either OP or MoneyPoint? I'm sure if we ask around now, somebody is either having OP or MoneyPoint. But if I now say maybe Access Bank, it's possible that we may not even have anybody or one or
That
two.
would be a card, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
maybe the person is from the 80s. But what I'm saying is they use a strategy to look at the market competition. For instance, the median age range in Nigeria is 18 years. That means we have a bigger market than even China. Yes, and that's why I say a lot. That's even another story. But what I'm saying is that you can hand over a part of the business. So they call those people agents, recruited them, gave them card, and told sell. They call them business owner. So those people are happy. They are selling the card one by one. So that's distribution. So one of the biggest area in business, if you want to move fast, is distribution. You must solve distribution problem. Distribution is how fast can I get my product or my service to the final consumer before my competitor. It's just like a tract. They say on your mark, who can get to that place faster? So where you are there now posting, come and buy, come and buy. Me, I'm seeing you post, come and buy. I'll just private chat you. That's one of the things I used to do. When I see certain people using our services with other banks, I'll just private chat them on their WhatsApp. This thing I'm using, how much is the rate? I will give you this rate. So if I'm selling shoes now, I used to tell somebody, if I'm a shoemaker, I will make a lot of money. I will make a lot of money. All I just need to is just recruit people, call them interns. Train them, give them. I will not mind opening certain kiosks for them. So that's distribution. So if you are selling clothes, if you are selling anything, you are selling bag, people that are doing that business, you can recruit them. The second thing which I want to talk about is collaboration. Collaboration looks similar to distribution. For instance, if I ask you, what are the 2 biggest phone competitors? You say that Apple and Samsung. But do you know that iPhone screen is produced by Samsung? So while you are here comparing, they are collaborating. So that means for iPhone, they don't mind though. I've seen that Samsung can produce better screen. I won't be competing with you. You will win me. You have better advantage. So I will collaborate with you. So when iPhone saw that margin, so now most of the iPhone screen you see, they are produced by Samsung.
So you collaborate instead of competing.
Yes, you collaborate. Right? So you collaborate. One of the reasons why people don't like to collaborate is because of the profit margin. I feel like if I collaborate, I will share profit. But it's better than to lose the customer. I'd rather give you 50% and forever I'm getting 50% from you than I'm dragging who will make 100% from one customer.
That's what happened between Microsoft and Google now. I think so.
Okay.
They were, I think in this book 0 to 1, I think they were competing within themselves. While they were competing, they now gave Apple leverage. Because before, Google is a search engine and then Microsoft is known for making operating system software and all that. But then before you know, Microsoft started creating Bing, Google started creating Google Docs. While they were now struggling, their profit margin was now going down. Yeah. Because they were competing with themselves. Mm-hmm. Then that now gave Apple leverage. I think it's in 0 to 1, they wrote in one book like that. That now gave Apple leverage to now like overshoot them in some things.
So collaboration. There are some people you can't fight. When MoneyPoint was coming on board, most banks saw that MoneyPoint would be a threat. One of the first banks that invested in MoneyPoint was Zenith Bank. Imagine a bank investing in another bank. The big guys, they know. There's a way you can be strong. I know I can't win you. You have the skill. You have the agility. You have marketing. For instance, if I'm selling something and you're selling it, I used to tell some of my guys, there's a way you market the video. Even me, I'll be scared. You lie down. Let's say maybe you're selling shoe, and you roll on the ground to market your shoe. I will have you on my team. Because me, I know I can't roll on the ground. For you to do that kind of thing, we need to be on the same team. If not, with time, you drive me out of the market because you do things I cannot do. So collaboration. And let me just say this one as maybe top up. It's categorization. Product categorization. When you are selling a product, there's a part of your product that should be for wealthy people. There's a part of your product that should be for middle class. There's a part of your product that should be for poor people. For instance, Toyota owns Lexus. So Lexus is like the rich people part of Toyota. Even Rolls-Royce is owned by BMW. So it's like for wealthy people. So categorize your products. Don't just say, I don't have business with poor people. No.
Toyota also created Kia, a lower one also, if I'm correct, for those that cannot.
Exactly. So you categorize your products.
Of fuel. Go to Kia.
Exactly. Low maintenance. So if you think your budget is, there's one of my, once you enter a shop, you must, it's like, it will look for your budget for you. If it doesn't have your budget, it will tell you that, can you come back next week? So categorize your products. Categorize it. All right. So
Thank you. Then also, you want to say something too?
Okay. Thank you very much. I really love what you said. In fact, you touched one of the points I wanted to also mention. I knew why I made us to take the camera to him. So this question he asked is a nice question, and some businesses fail to ask this question, right? They just tend to be shadow boxing, and that affects them a lot.
That's why you see a lot of shops closing down.
You understand?
Somebody will rent a shop, barely 1 year they close.
They've closed. Because some of these businesses
It's just about the money.
No, it's not about that.
The whole loan and invest in that business and not doing anything.
and this collaboration of phones is an instance now. The people who make some iPhone cameras, as a matter of fact, iPhone is not just the screen that they make Samsung to do. Their camera, the camera that make people buy iPhone, is Sony that is doing iPhone cameras. Major part of Sony. And Sony themselves, they create their own phones too. They have their own model of phones, but Sony advanced. So iPhone is borrowing from here, borrowing from there, borrowing from there, and they are standing out.
Then later, we will also tap into what is giving them that confidence, because collaboration
Yes,
can also be risky.
exactly. It's risky.
You are risking being thrown out of your own
Exactly.
institution.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a
That's why there's a contract.
That part
Signing
is
the
also very
contract.
risky.
Yeah.
If like the man they get mine say no problem now, Samsung can produce my screen. Still, like he has that confidence.
He has that confidence.
He's going to remain in the business. So
Anyway, this person, this don't bother. Okay, let me talk about it before I go back to what I wanted to talk about. This person, Kevin O'Larry. I was watching a video that Stephen Bartlett was interviewing Kevin O'Larry. Kevin O'Larry and Mr. Wonderful. He's a billionaire in US, right? So, and he worked for Steve Jobs, if I'm correct, and then he was now explaining the type of person that Steve Jobs was. Steve Jobs, that's the owner of Apple, is a very, very careful person, down to in fact, you can literally make different variations, they look alike, of color alone. No, he will ask you to still keep on doing them until he finds a particular. So Steve Jobs himself, the iPhone owner, the iPhone boss, is not a normal let me just say that. So to some extent he has his own meticulousness. Some of these successful businesses, and instance the first world billionaire, what's his name, John D. Rockefeller, you know that the man to himself is, many of these people, the way they think, that's why it is important for us to use their models to copy and tap from it. Some of these people, the way they think, it is. So anyway, but what I wanted to talk about was also the aspect of distribution he spoke about, and he spoke about one of them, right? And I wanted to just bring this simple framework, STP, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. I think it is in the business world, right? I learned it in my MBA. So the STP is a nice framework that you should actually use. Segmentation means you segment your business before you think of how to distribute, and who your customers are. It's important for you to segment, to know where to group them. You can group them based on age. You can group them based on buying power. That's where he brought the instance of Toyota creating Lexus and all. After you've grouped them, let's say you want to focus on the rich, you can now target the rich and then position your company to now be a nice branded store for the rich. An instance, Mr. Mbokwayo was saying something, and he said that Lexus, the meaning of Lexus actually, they created Lexus because US needed a more luxurious car, and they were seeing Toyota cars as though they're not being much luxurious. So they now created Lexus, and Lexus actually means the L is for luxury, then the EX is for exported, then the US at the end is for USA. So the Lexus actually stands for luxurious exported cars in US. So literally, they created that one. What they did was that they did an STP. And so they segmented. So I think if you can do an STP for your business, and then you know the kind of people that you are going for part-time, then it can actually help you to also build a distribution model that will suit these particular people, right? Because an instance, I don't think it would be wise for me. Let's say I'm selling a highly luxurious car, I'll now go and be paying DSTV to be doing my advert there. I don't think that would be wise, because people that will be driving that car that I want to, they don't have time to watch TV. You understand? So some cars like that, I need to go to auctions, where they're doing auction, or where they're doing some big men event, and then do some auctioning, because some of these people, they're not buying the car because it can drive. They are buying the car because there are only 10 people that have it in the world. You understand? So I cannot be advertising it on TV. So that's that. So when we do an STP for your business, you'll be able to know who you are serving. Someone like Dangote is doing a crazy STP, and he's serving everybody, down to the poorest person is buying from him, and the richest person is buying from him. So the poorest person is buying salt. The poorest person is buying salt, right? Literally, you buy Dangote salt, you buy this. In fact, so the way he has done his own STP is that he has segmented his business, and he has splitted them, and then standing out in all of them. Of course, if you're doing a STP, you may not be able to grow on all of them at once, but when you group them, you know the one you start with. While you're doing that one, you have eyes on some other one. So when you have strong ground on this one, you can decide to now split and then do. So I don't know if anybody has any question or any contribution.
Sorry, what do you call that again? Segment what?
STP.
Yeah.
Segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Yeah, you could just Google it. You see. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I just want to come in. He talked about why Apple is so confident, bah?
Yeah.
and still giving out and being in the business. It's because those people he's even giving out those things for, they know that if they decide to like not want to do those things, Apple have other options. And again, Apple is also concentrating on their software. They are concentrating on their the iOS, the marketing, ecosystem development. So all those things are what they are concentrating on. Now they are giving users an experience. You now you're using iPhone, you might not want to like switch to using Android because of the experience you already have using it. So you're enjoying it, you will not leave iPhone. So now they've invested in giving their customers that experience, that's all of that. And now that is how, if you have a business, you try to give out some part of the business to others to control, while you invest in what can stand out for you. You get? Now people would always come back to that thing that can stand out for you. So that's how you keep your customers and probably not lose. And so that's what I think.
Money.
Why people are busy with what is available.
Yes.
You are behind the scene doing
Yes.
greater research.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Because
That's
for
right.
real, I enjoyed
Yeah,
their
that's it.
upgrade. They keep upgrading to different.
And the thing here is that once with them is that at the beginning, right, you may not want to. It may be difficult at first. An instance, the Rockefeller I was telling you about, right? I don't know. Maybe you might have heard of Standard Oil. So Standard Oil, that's like they joined the different businesses. What it did was that they were actually owning, like, let's say, I think they were like 20 something oil producers also, and then they were like owning like, is it one or two? But they ended up buying the rest. He bought everybody out. And how did he buy them out? Literally, before he even started going to cities and buying from people. It was all simple. The first person was more difficult for him, right? But then he showed them his book, and then it was more or less like he was telling them that, see you, I'm going to. In fact, I think he added with some particular few things that were more or less like some false information that would increase fear in people's mind, making them to say that this business may crash and all that and all that. So he struggled to get the first person. When he now got the first person, when he bought the first person's company, what he needs to do now to go to the next person is to show the person that, see you, I have a stronger book. Look at my record. Joining both these persons on his own, and then end up getting the second person. So you see, getting the next person will now be easier, because I'm trying telling you that, see, come and collaborate with me or sell it to me, or in fact I'll give you some shares. If you don't sell it with me, I'll kick you out one day. So that's what he was doing. So in terms of Apple, the beginning might have been struggling, but right now, if you are producing food and then Apple comes to tell you, bros, let's collaborate, accept. Because I think, if I'm correct, right, I stand to be corrected, I think that's what happened to, is it Snapchat now? I think Facebook wanted to buy Snapchat, right? And then Facebook owns WhatsApp, right? And Instagram wanted to buy Snapchat. Snapchat refused to sell to them. No problem. The features that made people to be using Snapchat, they now brought it to, WhatsApp status and some other things like that. So it's now more or less like, if iPhone now comes to meet you now as a phone upcoming, let's say iPhone now meets, let's say, Infinix to say, come, let's collaborate on this particular thing. Infinix already knows the record of iPhone, so at that point it will now be much more safer for you to ally yourself. It's even a name for you that you are doing something with iPhone. So I think that may be one of the strategies that they use, but I think it's still way, way deeper than that, because the question he has is actually a serious one, because an instance now, going to meet Samsung and doing your screens for you. Samsungs are not small players also. They've been existing for years. You understand? So it means you too, you must have done your own due diligence. So I think it's something that we need to even study. That boldness is not, you understand? You understand? How can Airtel go and tell MTN to show me the way for MTN Mass and all that? Yeah.
They're also losing now, because I'm sure they are gaining a whole lot from Apple too.
Who?
Samsung.
Yeah. All of them, they have their own. There are things that they are doing that we don't know. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah. So my concern there is this. I feel it's somewhat risky, because giving me a part of, let's assume that you have a product you are manufacturing, right? And you are giving me a part of your production to handle, whereas the brand belongs to you, the product belongs to you, and you are just giving it to me as a job. I mean, I feel like it's a kind of you opening an avenue for me, you creating an avenue for me to copy.
They will have patent rights and something.
You understand?
Yeah.
No, because I can copy it, but maybe give it a different name, brand it differently. Because I would want to know what makes you different, what stands you out in a because in market, like people will say, nobody be senior. Like the business place is like a jungle. They fear anybody. Just do what you can do. This is why you see people, imitating product, bringing in substandard product to the market. Maybe an iPhone now, for instance, you bring a phone that will be similar to an iPhone, maybe that can even have some of the softwares and stuff that iPhone have, but not an iPhone. You understand? So if you are smart with your production and things, with time you can start rubbing shoulders with those people where people recognize them as the the big shots. You understand? So I feel like there's an aspect of it that is way deeper than just collaboration. You understand? Maybe there may be some restriction and stuff, but that is not enough. It's not enough. So I don't know if that makes sense for them.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's why I said. That's why part of what I said. From the depth of my knowledge, I know that there is more to it.
There should be.
Yeah.
There should be. And also, if iPhone 2, if iPhone company 2 can produce screen. Sorry, no vex. So I know really familiar with all these things. So if iPhone companies too can produce screen, and they also allow Samsung to produce some of their screens, can they try to upgrade their production skills to meet that of you understand? Yeah. So what's the point of giving it to this? So when you look at it critically, you see that there is this level of trust and confidence that no, it's just the screen. They produce the screen.
Let me
and give it to me.
Something similar to what you are saying.
All right.
To what you have said. There's actually formula to it.
Okay.
Generally, there's formula to it. For instance, as simple as that's why compliance is important. Just like in Nigeria, we don't really send compliance. Like say, I don't do this thing, no do am. It doesn't happen in Nigeria. You can be KYU, nobody cares. So you can go to Madaba and see KYU left, and nothing will happen. But there's compliance. What it means is that it's so bad that if I've discovered this thing and I name it Samuel Black, you can't discover it again. You cannot discover it again. And that's one of the patent rights that Coca-Cola has. They've produced it. If you like, don't know their formula. If you produce anything that tastes like that, you're in trouble. Say you did not know the formula, you were just doing your own, and magically
You got their formula.
you arrive at that, you're in trouble. So that means even if they know everything it takes to produce that thing, there is a right over that thing, that until they sell that right to you, even if you have the ingredients, you can't produce it. And that's why sometimes you wonder that, okay, why is it that, so that's why you wonder that, why is it that, let's say companies like itel, they have very bad camera. Why can't they just look at iPhone camera and look at what is there and do it? It's a formula. You can't replicate it. But it's in Nigeria that you can be doing all of those things. You can't replicate it. They've registered it as their own formula. And that's why you see that if you now need that formula, you now go to that company.
For them to, yeah.
So you see that you are going to that company that produced this thing for me, or give me a right that allows me produce this thing. That's one of the things that NVIDIA was doing for Google, that they were producing chip and also giving Google rights. Most of the Windows you see in all this laptop is NVIDIA work. And currently now NVIDIA have started producing laptop. Like what you say. So it's more like a right thing. So it not be information or technology, now right. So once you don't have that right, if you like have the technology, if you produce it, you're in trouble. And even if you don't know that that thing is existing and you still produce it and that thing was existing, you're in trouble. So that's how it just is. That's
That's one of the things that they use.
yeah, one of the things.
Yes.
Definitely.
But there's another inner chamber.
It is actually because some of these people,
It's crazy.
is actually very, very
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
Just like twins, they know what they are doing.
You know they're doing.
They know what they are
Even
doing.
in Nigeria, it happens.
Nobody
If you look down to politics, you see what happens there. People will come out, they will say they are quarreling.
Yes, nah. No, me too. I don't say that too. Even politics too. Yes,
They're
nah.
actually
like,
protecting each other.
Yes, yeah. In fact, I googled one, then I realized that Infinix and Tecno, right? I think they are controlled by slot systems also, and slot system is even owned by, I think one of the major shareholder is one Igbo man. Infinix and Tecno phone that we are fighting. That's why if you check when Tecno releases this particular phone, Infinix will release another that is similar to that, either Infinix or Tecno. They are just close to themselves. I don't know whether it's only me that noticed it. Infinix will release one 8GB RAM, this particular. Tecno will release their own almost the same time, right? And then some people will now be like me, I'm from Tecno. Maybe someone else is for Infinix. So we are just there. Who knows? Maybe even ITEL too might not of No, ITEL I think it's one of that person that owns it, one Nigerian man. I think somebody was telling me that they sold it. Right?
itel and Tecno are owned by.
No. It's Infinix and Tecno. ITEL is owned by another. I think ITEL have sold their business to someone else. But is it somebody took over also? One phone seller was telling me that somebody took over. And then if you check now, the innovations that are coming from ITEL stuff now, there's a change in the brand. And so on and so forth. So anyway,
I have a question
Yes.
from what you said. I just wanted us to answer a question. Yes. So you were giving an example of like a work you went to do, and that when the person came, the person was not satisfied with the work, and the person asked for correction and all of those things. Did you redo the work because the person was paying more to fix the work? Or if the person was not paying more and was not satisfied, how do you handle those kind of customers?
Okay, thank you very much. So, as a company, we have a policy that that saying that goes that whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. If we're not just protecting our own interests or trying to make the customer happy. Now it's a system that we've put in place that whenever we get a job, for as long as we are doing that job, the customer must be satisfied with what they paid for. It doesn't matter if they paid the exact amount or even if they paid less than what was agreed, like less than what was meant for the job. Because sometimes you can say, okay, this job is 1.5 million, and the customer say what I can pay is 1.3 million. As long as you accepted to take that money, you must give the customer what the customer has requested for. So for us now, the reason why we went back to even do that correction, or we would go back to do something similar for a client or a customer now, is because we want that there's a word you used. We want, how do I put this word now? Let it be that, okay, maybe if I explain it this way, let it be that I worked for him, he was satisfied with the job. When she's asking, who did this job for you? There wouldn't be like, some people like that, I will not even be able to recommend them for you because they didn't even do me well. You get that kind of thing. But you'll be happy to recommend them. Be like, they will even come back to even if you have any complaint at all, they'll come back. Like that recommendation, that feedback is actually what we are more after than even sometimes even the job. Because sometimes some clients can be very stressful.
You're trying to build your brand name.
You are trying to build your brand name. That relationship, that credibility, that basically that credibility that shows that no matter what it takes, no matter what happens, these people will give you the best. That's just the whole thing.
Thank you very much.
I want so that we'll wrap up, right? I think we need to wrap up. Sorry, let me apologize. We're supposed to have a fuller house, but I was supposed to do some form of publicity, but I couldn't do it within the week. I was not feeling fine. That contributed. So hopefully next month, we'll have more persons. But I believe that we learned some things already. I don't know whether I should ask this question or we should just close and go, because our time is already fast spent. But however it is, let me just give a room. Is there any question or anybody with anything to say before I ask what I want to ask? And then okay, all right. So we actually mentioned something, and one of the hallmarks of what he said, right? He spoke about building a sustainable business, and then there are different things that you're supposed to use as yardsticks. So if this is too much, if you shift your chair, maybe it's too. Okay.
I go do this. But if he's begin doing me, I go do that.
All right. So basically, it is important for us to this sustainability you spoke about earlier, right? And it's very much important. Can we just outline maybe some particular sustainable practices? I know you mentioned some, but let us bring some practically. Some particular things that we feel are common in Nigeria that people overlook. That if you must build a global brand, you must overlook this part. You must actually don't see them as things that are being overlooked. You mentioned one. You mentioned stakeholders. It's very much important. See, one problem with us is that we don't like accountability. So you see, stakeholders will try to keep you accountable. That one is one of the places we need to look at. And if you can also give out shares, there's a way that giving out shares can actually help you yourself to be accountable, because you cannot give out shares and then each time you are touching. It will not work that way, right? So I think we need to. So I don't know if. So can we share some particular things, more or less like things that we should know actually look out for, so that some of us now that are not looking out for these things, we will know that we are supposed to go back to our drawing board to add that and look into that. I don't know. Can we share one or two on that? Okay. How are you?
Let's start like
I
this.
want to learn.
No. Okay. So, my own, I will just say that I want to talk on the reason why we don't even see those things important. Is that sometimes I really doubt if we are building something global. I don't know how to believe it. I feel like we just grew up in a survival way. Even the average person doesn't know what he's building. You see, when he was talking about record, I was just looking, how many businesses can you ask, how much did you make last month? And they will tell you upfront without saying, let me check. So if you even look at A to Z of the template, what you are building doesn't look like something global. It's just survival. So I think the first thing, first pause, take a deep breath, go back and check, am I building this thing globally? Because global is just replication at different places. So if you say something is global, it means you have done that thing over and over at different places. So if you go to UBA here and you go to UBA in Onitsha, the same thing. That's what global means. So ask yourself, am I building something global? Or I'm just trying to survive? So the first thing you now need to do, if you now say you are building something global, is that you must have a template plan. If you are too comfortable, it could be a sign that you don't even know where you are going to. Dangote is the richest man in Africa, and he's not comfortable. He's feeling like he's in trouble, but you are feeling at rest. You see that there's a problem. So the problem here now is not the money, is that he's seeing something ahead.
Mindset.
Exactly.
The blueprints, all of that.
So I don't blame also, even myself. I don't blame myself, but I'm saying we can change. It's because of the survivor. We just entered it. Like, there was no plan for the business. There was no money. So it's Sapa that scaled the way. There was no plan. You just entered that thing. But I think it needs to come to a point where you now calm down, that at least, even if you have not solved the Sapa completely, but at least you have escaped. You know that you calm down, calm down, you have escaped. So you need to now calm down and say, I want to do this thing globally. You now need to have a template. So as a business owner, there are some questions you should be able to answer. You should be able to tell yourself what it takes for you to double your income. So if I ask you now, what does it take for you to do times 2 of your revenue, and you don't know there's a problem? There's a problem. Is when you now know that, okay, if I'm selling 20 and to double it, I need to sell 40. Can I sell 40 myself as one person? Are you seeing how it is now the goal that is inspiring, let me get another person? You're not just doing it randomly. Or your time don't reach, let me get another person. Another time don't reach, let me get another person. So you can have one person and you are sure that this person is coming to double, replicate my own work. And that's why you see most top companies, when they recruit, immediately you can enter a bank and you see 50 staff and everybody's on pressure. Nobody's relaxing. Because everybody has to replicate. Then you enter another place, you see 10 people, 7 people are relaxing, 3 people are working. Because your idea was just, let me get more staff. That's just the idea. You did not know why you were getting those people. So you are having people that are not replicating the revenue. They are just there. So you need to tell yourself why you are bringing those people on board to come and replicate your revenue. So you need to be able to tell what it takes to double your income. And as a business person that is thinking global, you need to learn compliance. I said this thing earlier. Compliance. Some of us, our business are not even registered. Some of us, our business are not registered. Let's not say because it's Nigeria thing. Some of us, somebody was saying how he missed out on 20,000 deal just because he did not have a registration.
How much is CAC?
We are praying for miracles. Somebody say you are praying for somebody to send money wrongly to your accounts, but you don't even have accounts. So it looks like we are preparing for that thing big, but we don't have a plan for it. There's no room for it. Yes, there's no room for it.
The problem is for me to. Sorry.
No, please stop.
Okay. Now a very serious part where you just touched now. You know, in fact, it's a very critical topic. I feel a lot of business owners are not even paying much attention to. And he said something very, very crucial too. The survival mindset is what has affected so many people. survival mindset. You know that kind of situation now. You don't really chop stone at certain point in time. You just be like say small breeze touch you. You are just in for the like you just it seems like you want to make up for your past depravity. Like you want to make up for those days maybe you were hungry, so to say you were hungry, like you just want to eat, you want to fool yourself, you want to be satisfied, you want to heal from your past trauma. You understand? So but then going forward, I feel what everybody needs to do, everybody that is thinking global like you said, for their business needs to do is mentorship. Like I feel many people need to understand the significance of mentorship in any business you are doing. Like you need to submit to some persons that are in your field but are way bigger, that have advanced far more than you have. You understand? You need to learn a lot from them. Alright, so I think that's what a lot of us are not doing much. You may be doing one thing or the other, and you feel like I'm doing well. In your own mind, you think you are doing well, but that's your definition of doing well cannot take you to that level at which you are going to be getting national recognition. People begin to see you and all of that. Yeah, you are doing well because maybe you have been exposed to a certain amount of profit or turnover that you've never imagined. There are these adage that people used to say that if they give a child that has never dreamed of having a title, if they give him a title, he will ask them to position his title cap at one corner where everybody could see him, because he has never dreamt of having a title before in his entire life. So he just came as and I said, so you feel like I don't make him, I don't arrive. So the problem there for me is that mentorship thing. We are not really, many of us though, are not really paying attention to how do I do this? How do I from this level to this level? It's not just that. It's a lot. In fact, it's a lot actually.
Yeah, and before because I think he has another point to say before he moves on, and I think one of the things that to add up to this particular thing, and Sim Shagaya, that's the founder of Konga, he was teaching us. He's one of the school that I was doing my MBA, and I'm doing my MBA. Okay, I finished now. And he told us something. He said people get wealth people start businesses, they start things from two particular drive. Number one is from this point of opportunity, and then the point of necessity. So some people start their business because now in some countries that are, let's say, developed, right, they see opportunity in something, there's a loophole. And instance, someone like Elon, someone like Bill Gates is probably opportunity because already Bill Gates was already rich, right? Elon was already rich. So some of these people decided their business from a standpoint of opportunity. We have seen an opportunity that we want to cover this gap and do some particular changes. But for some countries again, right, like we now in Nigeria, many businesses are starting from a point of necessity, right? So you are going to school, nobody to pay your fees. You have to take care of yourself. It's a necessity that if you don't do this business, if you don't learn fashion designing, you are doomed, right? As a matter of fact, they are already pushing this necessity mindset to us from camp. NYC camps, you go there, they will make you to go through Said. It's a nice thing though, but they will tell you that see, there's no job. It is a necessity that you learn this thing so that you go and start making beats after. So that's actually one of the things that drive us. And as he said, we'll have to find a way to come out of that particular driving force, first of all, of opportunity and necessities, so that we'll be able to now explore to see how we can help ourselves more. So I don't know, sir, if you want to
So he has explained that my other point, so there's no need. So let me just mention my last point. My last point is in that your business, after you've looked at compliance, what do you want to leave behind? You see, I feel like in Nigeria we are so much behind that sometimes I will just look at it because I've also been a victim, and sometimes I look at some business owner and I'm hoping you will not continue like this, because you can tell from where you are going to that there's no direction. So it's okay to start without a direction. No? It's okay. But now that you have escaped, you can eat maybe twice or 3 times a day. Now you have to calm down
Yeah.
and re-strategize. So the next thing you now want to say is that, what will it take for me to scale? As simple as that is. What will it take for me to scale? I've been doing 20 a week. I've been doing 50 a week for the last 1 year. There's trouble. My mentor used to tell me something. He said, if you have 1,000 sales every day for 6 months, he said your business is dying. Because in business, there's something called compounding loss. That if you are doing marketing for a long time and you stop, you will not feel the effect. I've worked in the bank for some few years. You will not feel the effect. You need to wait for another few months, because the people that are using the product, you'll still be making money. So those your customers will still be coming back. So you can calm down and say, Shobi, I still get 2 work now. I still get 3 work. Is when those people start leaving, that's when you now know that nobody is coming again. So there's actually compounding loss. So you must tell yourself, what does it take for me to scale, to go to the next level? So that, because in business, there's nothing like, I think there's something called the value of debt. You did MBA now.
Yeah.
Okay. So in business, there's no middle place. So
Yeah, somebody said it recently. It's either you are growing or you are dying.
yes. So for the fact you are not seeing it on time, I think there's this new science discovery now that even the stars you are seeing that are shining, they are dead.
Yeah, they were there before the light is shining
Yes.
on you. Correct.
It's just taking a longer time because the light has traveled, but the star has died. But the light is still traveling, you are seeing it. That's how business is. So you can still be making money because of the existing work you have done.
Yeah.
But you are not doing anything again. So it's that work that is paying you. So immediately that work is now tampered with, then problem will start. So you must tell yourself, what does it take to scale? You can't calm down. I'm sorry, there's this adage you used to say that you cannot leave your business for 3 months. You're not a business owner. I mean, I don't like that, you know. Yeah, I don't used to support that thing. I don't know if people support. This is my opinion. If you cannot leave your business for 3 months, you're not a business owner. You're just another employed somebody or something like that. Okay, the business needs you at some time. You cannot look at somebody like Dangote and you say you want to do what he's doing and get his results. You need to do what he was doing when he was at your level.
Yes.
When Dangote was at my level, was he traveling like this and living his business? That's why I love Igbo people. I learned some part of that organ now that is looking like he could just sit down and go and do O&B somewhere. When he was your age, he can't risk it. So it looks like we look at people ahead. We don't want to grow from where they started from. We want to grow from where they are. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Avoiding the process.
Yes, you want to grow from where they are. Sometimes I will go out with some of my bosses. They will be buying things. I can't buy what you are buying. No, you have been doing business longer than I've been alive. You now want me to now be living your... No. So I feel like maybe we are too calm. I don't know. Maybe we are too calm with the way we do things. And like you said, it's because of the environment. We've touched small money.
It's the environment and trauma. That's another thing I feel like.
I support you on that one. I support you.
Yeah. And we are, in fact, this is a national problem, sir, because
Actually, it is.
yes, it is. It is a national
Yeah, it
problem.
is.
It is a national problem.
Yeah.
I think we should, as a nation, though, we should have a system of aid. You understand? I was discussing with a friend of mine sometime last week. We were actually talking on the effect of alcohol and why people abuse alcohol and different, harmful substance like that. So, he was on about how dangerous those things are, and I said, yeah, of course. In fact, many people.
Sorry, who cares for fun? Should I off it?
After we have finished blowing our head.
Alright, so he was on about how dangerous it is, how people see it as drinking alcohol and doing drugs as having fun and all of that. So I told him something that while you look at the dangers of these things, you should also look at the cause. Why do people even start in the first place? Because This is actually one of the problems I have with Africa as a continent. I have this problem. You know, people tend to focus on the crime that is being committed or the harm that is being done without talking about what actually led to it. How did somebody? There's this person that I forget his name. He has this sense of he uses this line of how did we get here constantly. Like if you make one complete sentence with how did we get here. So I think it's important we ask that how did we get here. Maybe you see maybe a girl doing prostitution and all of those things. Yeah, it's bad to do that actually, but what happened? You understand? So I feel these are the things we are not doing well enough. So if I have the opportunity, honestly, I will set a lot of system that can help people with certain things. One of them is this business thing that we're talking about now. A lot of people are still dealing with their past trauma, what they went through when they were broke, those things. How maybe their friends or their schoolmates oppress them with cars and all of those things. So when the person starts making money, they want to buy a car. You understand? It's easy for somebody to come and say, why would they buy a car now, whereas your business still needs some funding and all of this. But they have not healed. So if at all you want to help them, I feel don't come and start counseling them on why they should not buy a car without dealing with the problem they've not healed from here, because they need to wipe off that trauma from their entire system to be able to even understand what you are saying. Because somebody that is still dealing with that trauma, no matter what you say, almost like they have internal injury, like they have something that has not left them. So when what you are saying is important, I think it's even simple and easy for you, because you have somehow migrated from that like you've left that class of I don't see things, so you understand. So you are now focusing on how can I advance my business to that global standard, you understand. Whereas somebody there is not yet free from that sapa mentality, you understand. So they focus on, in fact, I told somebody recently that a lot of people are comfortable is because they do business for luxury. Like their aim is, when I make money, I'll buy car, I'll build house, those things that they call enjoyment and stuff like that. They do business for material things, you understand. As much as maybe everything self, I mean, at the end of the day, everything are still material things, but they don't have that mindset of where do I see my business in the next 2 to 3 years, something like that. So my point is that as much as we can, we should try to tackle that issue of survival injury. Like I prefer to call it survival injury. It's actually survival injury, except maybe those that were born with certain privilege that they started off their life having helps around them. I have a clue, I need this, and you have somebody that can actually assist you with that. It would be easy for people like that to think higher and not have that problem of remaining stagnant, whereas they may be thinking that they are doing well, whereas they actually stagnant. Like something you said that if you're out of your business for three months or something like that, your business is dying. A lot of people don't understand all these things. What they after is that my get day shop now, my boy day shop now, they are making sales. And so it's not everybody that is paying attention to all those things, and it's not their fault. So we have things like they need serious counseling. All right, so there should be. I swear, so it's not a simple thing actually.
In Nigeria.
Anyway, and okay, mommy, talk to us. All right. In fact, the thing there is that if people are it's as if people are touching me. You're trying to. No, it's just that time. Time. So I think we'll stop here, This meeting is actually, in fact, what even started this meeting? It was me and Austin. One day we were just sitting there. He was just lamenting, telling me this. Can you imagine this guy? Me again. I was like, I was even helping him to complete some of his sentences. And I realized that some of the things he's facing, I'm facing them, and some of the things I'm facing. So it's now more or less like business owners need help. And you need a place whereby you can come and vent yourself out and learn from people also. And then that was what led to us create a gathering like this Entrepreneurs Connect. So, and it's supposed to be once a month. The next one is going to be next month. So, and hopefully, if you have topic suggestions, you are free to bring them. And as time goes on, if we need a specialist in a particular field to educate us on something in particular, we can invite him so that he can share. And then gradually, we will be learning and learning. Who knows, maybe as time goes on, this place may be small for us. But however it is, seriously speaking, I want to appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you very, very much for taking that time to come and share. Like, I was just, if you observe, I was typing. I was just taking notes of things because I've learned a lot today, and some of the things I've learned, I think I'm also put them into practice. That's one of the use of meetings like this, that we'll put things to practice. And then while we're doing so, also we should know that although we are running our business, but we are trying to solve the problem of the country. The country right now is very, very dark, and we need all of the help we can get. The little that you can do an instance, if you build your business very, very well, it reaches a point that the business is no longer about you alone because others are surviving from it. So you know that you cannot fail because there are some people. So if you are paying some people at times, you know that this thing cannot, normally if you're the only one, you cannot easily give up. But when you know that some people are actually under you also, so that's you already helping in coping this entire problem that we have in the country. So I think it will help us all. So gradually we'll see how we'll be advancing. And I believe I believe we were all blessed. I don't know if anybody has anything to say before we wrap up, or we wrap it up here, and that's all.
I think I want to say something.
Okay, yes.
I was going to say praise the Lord. All right, thank you very much. I just wanted to highlight this. There was one point I mentioned, and I think they were together: accountability and transparency. I would like to really emphasize on that transparency because he has really, really spoken about the accountability aspect. Now, transparency in terms of how you do business. We've actually highlighted the life of an Igbo man. You know how an Igbo man will pick a boy from the village and say, okay, come and stay with me for 10 years. After 10 years, that 10 years now, we'll open a shop for him. Probably even settle him. I think they call it freedom. Settle him to go and start his own business. And from there, if you notice something there, the Igbo man will give that boy everything that he needs to start his own business in the same line of business. So that's the funny thing. Same line of business. But everything that he needs, the connection, the people, the money, the man will provide it for him. Now, it goes a long way to tell you how much investment or how willing the Igbo man is to see his own people grow. So let's bring it down to our own settings now as entrepreneurs, tech bros, and all. We are doing something, and you want the people under you to grow and also have their own. Because yes, they won't be with you forever. That's the truth about it. No matter how we pray for to have like staff that would grow our company and all of that, they definitely will not be there forever. A time will come where they will probably need to advance, start their own business or do something in line that may probably distract them a little bit from their full commitment in your company and all. So there are things that you need to inspire into them, like they will need to learn as they are working with you. So when I was working with Bevic, that was during my IT. When the MD wants to have a meeting with a client, he opens the door. Like, the door is wide open. And when he's having the conversation with the client, this is conversation that is worth millions. Like, to start up a sachet company now, you're looking at nothing less than 6-7 million to start up that business.
That's least.
The least 6-7 million to start up that business. And he's having a conversation with this man. His door of his office is open. His voice is as loud as it can be, so that you that is the staff, you'll be hearing the conversation they are having. One day we had a meeting and he was sharing with us the reason why he does that. He said he wants us to learn how to speak with customers, like how to negotiate with customers. Like, that was why that's just his own reason, not like anything at all. Like, he wants us to learn, and a lot of us actually did learn. Like, whenever we want to have a conversation with customers and all of that, from the way he speaks with them, we also learn how to also speak with customers. So this will help you to have like this relaxed mind. Even when you are not around, you know that your staffs, they can think like you, they can act like you, they will be able to take decisions just the way you would. They'll be like, how would my MD think? How would my boss think? How would he handle this particular situation? Those are the kind of people I feel we should actually grow. And I'm encouraging all of us, or whatever we're handling our business activities, daily work in the office, let's try as much as we can to carry our staffs along so that they can also grow. Because with them, we have that confidence that, okay, our company is growing. And if they're not growing, they're always coming to ask you, how do I do this? How do I do this? There's a problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, so I think that's all. Anybody again? Okay, all right. All right, so thank you all for coming, and see you all next month, same place, same time. All right, so we have a chat group actually.